Hello guys, welcome to a new video. I finally finished the anime or animation and it was awesome. Nah, I'm just kidding. I had some hope that it wasn't as bad as it was. So I asked you guys if you liked the new series and 34% of you said yes. However, on the other not so positive side, 25% of you guys said no. 26% said that you haven't seen it yet, and maybe that's because you guys weren't excited enough about it, or perhaps you didn't have the time or the means to watch it. 15% selected not interested, showing that you don't care about it. It shows that the Legend of Lara hasn't fully resonated with much of the fans. And thank you to everyone who voted. It is always interesting to know your opinions. To talk about the points that I want, I will need to give you spoilers, so if you don't want any, just leave the video now. For the people that don't like crying Lara, I have bad news. She cries on all episodes and a lot of other characters also cry. It should be named the legend where everyone cries. Lara starts strong and kinda confident. It's a bit weird that she knows how to fight and you see her doing things that supposedly she only learned during the 2013 game. And yeah, this is weird because this happens in a flashback before 2013, okay? So, no. The first episode kind of tricks people into thinking that she's finally turning into the original Lara, but 15 minutes into the episode I got enough to know that I was getting the same thing over again. We see Lara still talking about her father and now she's trying to get over Rod's death, which doesn't make sense after 2 games where she didn't even mention it. It was all still about her father, and of course that the adventure in the flashback was her finishing something her father started and that no one believed him. This Lara will never leave the shadow of her father. That is a character that nobody cares about it. I was surprised to hear Jonas is getting married. It happened so fast. I wish Lara could move on as quickly as Jonah does. Once again, we see Lara doing wild stuff because she can't get over someone's death, and Jonas is upset with her behavior. They really love implying that Lara can't function without her friends, which is nothing new here. She still doesn't like Croft Manor because of the memories, and it's clear that the writers didn't play Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We see her happy in the manor, even chatting with Winston. For some reason, Winston is nowhere to be found in the anime, which would be cool to see. Another thing they forgot is that Alex and Grimm died in the 2013 game too. I get why Whitman isn't mentioned, nobody liked him, but Alex and Grimm should have been acknowledged. You could argue that they only included the most important characters in the photos, but Reyes and Lara weren't exactly close either. Then we have an older guy who somehow understands how Lara feels and steals the artifact she found in the flashback with Rod. Apparently this artifact lets him control people. The name of the villain is Charles, that basically has the same backstory as Lara. His father was killed by an evil organization called the Light, and now he's out for revenge. He's like Lara but even more obsessed, willing to sacrifice anyone to get what he wants. He's supposed to serve as a warning to Lara, showing her what she could become if she doesn't move on. Which is funny because in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Lara's reckless actions caused a tsunami in Mexico, killing a lot of people, and she didn't seem too bothered by it. So it's weird they are now trying to paint her as some kind of hero, And of course, she's using her father's guide to chase down the villain. Lara shows at the village and starts being annoying. Then Jonah magically appears, instantly becoming friends with the locals. I really don't get why they keep making Lara so unpleasant and selfish, with no manners whatsoever. So here, the children of the village are missing, and in the end, they manage to save the children by freeing a fox spirit that helps them escape. Then, when Lara opens the box, she found it's empty, but she quickly realizes the stones inside are what really matter, which, yeah, usually what is inside the box is what is important, not the box itself, but okay. Of course, Jonah tells Lara to stop and she starts crying about Rod and her father again. Lara thinks Jonah is dead again. At this point, it's a tradition in the games, books, and comics. She always believes Jonas is dead, but he never is. It's honestly so annoying. Lara eventually finds the ruby she's been searching for, gets possessed, kills some people, and then cries about it. Meanwhile, in the last game, she didn't shed a tear for all the people she killed. In the end, she finds out that Jonas is still alive, but now he is possessed by the bad guy who stole the artifact. Lara meets Rod's daughter, Camilla, a character we never heard of before. Rod does have another daughter with Reyes, but Reyes never told him. There's some drama when Camilla leaves Lara, and Lara assumes it's because Camilla thought she was being replaced as Rod's daughter. I really wish the writers hadn't made her Rod's daughter. It always felt like Lara was the daughter Rod never had, and finding out he actually had one with Reyes made things a bit more interesting. From their conversations, it seems like there's more than just a friendship between them, but then Camilla says they are like sisters, which makes it even weirder. Also, I wonder if they named her Camilla because of the voice actress who played Lara in the Survivor trilogy. Lara's story with Camilla feels a lot like her relationship with Sam. You can't really tell if there are romantic feelings or if it's more of a sisterly bond. Then something happens and they go their separate ways again. There's also this part where they are in what seems to be a museum, but underneath they discover a crypt. There are even cardboard cutouts of characters that talk, just like in Tomb Raider Legend during the England level. Inside the crypt, Lara starts having hallucinations that represent her guilt, which is exactly what we saw in one of the Rise of the Tomb Raiders DLCs. I can't tell if these are supposed to be fun references or if the writers just got lazy and recycled old ideas. Lara manages to save Jonah and discovers the next location she needs to head to. While unconscious, Lara finally discovers who she is, thanks to the spirit of the fox. Because after 3 games, 2 books and 2 comic series, she still doesn't know who she is. I nearly died of laughing when they said the president of Portugal is part of the organization. I wasn't expecting that, especially since I'm from Portugal and the president is Marcelo. Of all the presidents they could pick, maybe they choose him because of that viral video of him. Then Charles uses the stones to turn into a monster. Lara, with Camilla's help, manages to defeat him by taking all the stones out of his body, and he turns back into a human. There's also this moment where Lara is hurt by the stones and falls under their power. She's about to attack Camilla, who points a shotgun at her, but instead of fighting, they just cry while Lara struggles to regain control. Everything ends up fine, but there was zero tension because nothing really happened, Lara only gets her dual pistols from Zip after the fight with the villain, which is just stupid. There's no iconic or interesting story behind how she starts using them. He just gives the guns. Afterwards, she and Jonah go to a place to return the stones. They solve some puzzles and then have to split up while a bear tries to attack Jonah. Lara uses the guns for the first time on the bear, which felt kinda pointless because she doesn't defeat him. And then she cries again and decides to go alone to return the stones. Once she does that, she is happy to see Jonah alive, but then a T-Rex shows up just for fun service, like there's no reason for that. Lara fights it in her guns, shooting its eyes in a way that reminds me of Tomb Raider Anniversary, and then finishes it off with the shotgun. They leave the place, and then it's time for Jonah's wedding. Lara wears another dress, and once again they can't stop talking about how she didn't like wearing them as a child. I was like, we've already heard this in the game, so just stop repeating. During the wedding, Lara gets a call from Sam. Something bad has happened, so she leaves the party to go check on her. When Lara arrives, she finds the place in a mess and Sam missing, and that's how the season ends. The next season, it will probably revolve around more drama between Lara and Sam and how Lara failed her and blah blah blah. I completely lost interest in a season 2 that is already announced. I don't think it was because this one was a success, because it doesn't seem like it by the reviews, but because it was already on their plans and they are probably already working on it. By the end of this show, basically, to be honest, I didn't even have any interest to lose because it was already all gone. The show tries to throw in jokes, but they are all quite bad and forced. I like the idea of Lara doing her thing in a themed part. It had a lot of potential for some funny scenes, but the ones we got were just okay. And no, I didn't forget about Zip. I just recognize him because he's good with computers and he's the only black guy in the Tomb Raider series. Carter doesn't count because he's from the spin-offs, okay? So Zip's style has completely changed since they decided to make him gay, so he doesn't look like the Zip we knew before. Well, Zip have like different versions in terms of style and appearance, but he used to have like a more relaxed look in the Legend timeline when he was straight. And how do I know he was straight? Because back then, while playing in Croft Manor, Lara would even tease him about stalking his ex-girlfriends. And to be honest, I also don't like this. So I don't think we need to know like anything about the relationships that Zip has. It would be okay if we just knew he was there to help Lara. I really don't like when they change characters. I'd much rather see a new character who's gay, and to be honest, I could even see Alistair being gay instead of Zip, but I guess it wouldn't work because he's already dead. Zip's voice is similar to the original from Chronicles. Both were kind of annoying, and I think the original one had some funny moments, but this new version not so much. The problem with Tomb Raider lately is that it focuses too much on relationships and feelings instead of adventure, fun and mystery. If you haven't watched this anime yet, I definitely don't recommend it. It's the same story all over again, especially if you're like a classic fan hoping to see a Lara closer to the original. Don't see it. I didn't see her evolve into the Lara we all know, and they are always like implying that. And the animations aren't the best either. Most of the reviews about this anime, like I said before, aren't very positive like mine. That I was surprised that there were still quite a few people that enjoyed the show. according to the question that I did here in the channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, it helps the video reach more people. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the anime if you haven't seen it yet. Until next time, bye bye!